That right there is basically what's left of that shock mount up there. Cut it in two with my Sawzall. Didn't show you all just because of time constraints, and really, I mean, there's not a whole lot to see. I just cut the top stud off of the shock, and I don't really know where it went to, otherwise I'd show you that. Let's see here. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Okay, do you remember when I was trying to get that shock off the other day and I was using the pry bar to pry on the actual shock itself? I dented the shock wall, and when I did that, it made it hard for the shock to collapse fully. So even though I cut that top stud off, I did not cut. It's still not able to go across the that dent. So basically all I did is I'm using my jack stand and I've just jacked it up here as I hammer this out, hopefully. Now, if you're good enough, which I wasn't the last time, you could take the bolt and just chase it right on through. We'll see if I can do it this time. I'm hammering left-handed, so that's why I'm missing. Okay, the bolt's out. And now this holds that. So I'll let the truck back down. Like so. Okay, now this is where the hard part begins. I am going to have to jack the truck up because I got 3 minutes left before I run out of space on this card. because I've got to, come on out, get the light. Right there, it didn't really come out. That bolt didn't come out any more than it needed to, so I got to finagle that out. Everything is loose. I got to cut this brake hose, which I'm not going to show you because it's a snip and it's done. But I got to jack up the truck a couple of maybe 6 inches or so, enough to finagle this suspension out of here. So stay tuned and we'll get her done. Okay, so I jacked it up a little bit more. Got the suspension fully off of the A-arm engine hoist. So I'm going to go and set the camera down and start wiggling, maneuvering this thing around. And let me see what I can come up with. Anybody who does these tutorials like these, what you want to call this, knows things aren't easy to do. It's not that they're like terribly difficult. It's just that getting things situated can be difficult, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the hub, this is the driver's side I-beam, and then it goes on and on. These things are heavy. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, but a lot of people get so used to seeing these things like in magazines and things like that, or ad sales things, that they don't realize that they're solid metal. And far from light. What I'm going to try to do here is a couple things. I've never taken I-beams apart or off, so it's going to be trial and error. I got to figure out what's holding on this thing and what not. Everything should be disconnected. Couple trouble spots, or potential trouble spots, could be the steering gearbox getting hung up, or, well, really, I guess maybe the I-beams too. I'm not real sure, honestly. And if at any time anybody knows any tricks or sees that I did something that could have been done differently, by all means, share it for the next people that do it, because I'm not the end-all do-all here. Far, far from it. I'm just a guy that's doing a suspension swap, who thought it might be helpful to show others how I did it. I'm not even going to say show others the right way to do it. Okay, so you guys remember that hook that I've been referring to over and over. I'm going to take it and attempt to Okay, you just seen that side drop. Basically what I did is I took that hook and I just wedged it out from the whatchamacallit. So that in theory should allow, okay, not quite. It's still a little stuck in there, and I may end up having to take these things off, which I really don't want to waste my time doing. Okay. Now I'm going to go do the same thing to the other side. Feels nice and cool outside. Nice breeze. I didn't bring the light over here, so I don't know how well you all can see or not see, but I figured bringing you over was better than leaving you there. Yeah, you can't see, so I'm going to pause you and then we'll get this one unhooked. Okay, so I got the side pretty much all the way. The other side's almost all the way out. Basically, just some tugging and pulling. I have to wonder if eventually the steering gear is not going to give me issues. Okay, I want to show you what I'm doing over here. Basically, I'm just taking a crowbar here, pry bar, and separating the two. It's almost out. It's hard to do it one-handed, but this is pretty important for you guys to be able to understand. Okay, this is that bar I told y'all that I bent. Where'd you go? Right there. I'm spinning back. It was hooked right into that hole. I had to bend it back a little bit. It's just a flat steel that's bent. That's the other I-beam that went over there. Right there's a hole for it. It's already slid out. I really think it's that gearbox is what's holding me up. But high for today was 101, I think. Here's my my camera stand. I just set it right here in the pocket. It works almost perfectly. This thing is pretty much all the way out. That steering gearbox may not go through that hole. Hard to say. I'm gonna have to take that steering gear off. So was really hoping to take that off in one assembly. And I still think I can. It's just a matter of, is it easier to take it off or is it easier to fight with it a little bit? And I don't really know. The other side was definitely easier to come off. Keep wanting to come back to this radius arm because it seems like it's really the only thing moving on this side. Okay, it officially came loose on the other side, which is a really good sign. He's not wanting to budge. And I know that it has to do with the angle of things. So stay tuned, I'll get it figured out and you guys will see it.